Sound check 1 2. Sound check 1 2. Hey, what's up? Happy New Year's Eve.
Oh my God. Okay, he bringing the juice today.
Sorry, I had 3 cups of coffee before this podcast. I'm fucking on one.
Somebody cut him off.
What happened?
And it's our coffee too, so you know that shit is right.
I just want it out. I'm
Right.
so.
Should I keep my hat like this the whole time?
Yeah.
No, this is,
Yeah.
you should keep
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
that for all of 2020.
It's a new thing. Let him live.
Say it like, hey Panini. What's up?
Oh, do not. Speaking of new, wait, real quick, do you guys have any resolutions for this year?
Wear my hat straight.
All right, that works.
I guess I drink beer less.
Okay.
Less
Drink beer
Try
less.
tequila more. I just need
Less
to
beer, hard liquor
It's
more.
It's like a beer commercial.
because I only drink beer. That's it.
Okay.
But yeah.
It's coffee talk, bitch.
It's coffee talk, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait. There. Happy New Year's, everybody.
All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Zane and Heath Unfiltered. Thank you again for joining us this week. You're about to talk. What were you about to
I'm
say?
your host, Zane Johnson.
And I'm your other host, Heath Husar.
And welcome to Zane and Heath Unfiltered. This is going to be a very juicy, the conspiracy, the juice.
There it is.
Conspiracy type of podcast today. You guys have requested this episode for a very, very long time. We've seen a ton of tweets, a ton of comments. So we are going to give it to you.
Here it
since you
is,
guys asked
baby.
for it.
Play some like sci-fi. Ooh.
We got the Illuminati, the Beyonce, the Avril Lavigne.
All right. Oh, Zane's so amped on this. I'm excited too.
I love watching conspiracy videos. Like
It's addicting. I just love talking about it. Just thinking outside the box and questioning stuff that like you're told.
Yeah,
or,
I
like,
just
that you
want
think.
I want the conspiracy theories to be right. I'm like that fucking like I
Oh,
just
yeah.
want it to be right.
And sometimes they end up being right.
Right.
That's you're right.
They really
right.
do.
Correct.
Right.
Very correct.
Then it's not really a theory anymore.
No, it's no longer theory. It becomes fact.
Wow.
It becomes the truth.
What a groundbreaking podcast tonight, huh?
Guys, if something is no longer an opinion, it becomes a fact. That is correct.
Oh, but there was one game that I kind of wanted to play right before we got to the conspiracy
Okay,
theories
that's
that we
cool.
didn't get to in our last episode, but I think it's kind of appropriate because
A game?
our first like kind of episode had this segment in it, I think.
Y'all want to play a game? Say yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all remember the Florida Man segment that Mariah
Right.
and I did in like the OG like first
That was
Oh
the first
yeah,
episode.
we were supposed to do that every podcast.
That was supposed to be like a
episode.
cute little thing that we
thing.
added in.
and
like
we just didn't do it.
Oh, we didn't. Well, because we discovered new
we were
new
too
things
busy
to talk
bringing the
about.
juice.
See,
funny.
new year, new podcast.
Love
All right,
that.
so we're gonna do it. We're
Well,
gonna
I
that.
forgot
Keep
the
the tradition.
person who sent this suggestion in as something to do fun and as a segment we could do on our podcast. But it's called the Florida Man Birthday Game.
Oh, I know what this is. Where you pick your birthday and see, like, Google your birthday plus Florida Man,
Yes.
and then whatever
Cool.
happened on your birthday in Florida.
Okay, so who do we start with in our group?
Let's start with Heath.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Heath.
When's Heath's birthday?
Heath, when is your birthday?
Out.
That's the first test. That's the
all
first
right.
conspiracy
Shit.
theory.
The 27th.
It rhymes with Schmapril Hith.
Or were
Oh.
you?
It's in April 5th.
There. Wow, this guy's on fire today.
But were you born on the 5th?
That was good. That was good. That was good.
Okay, a thong-wearing Florida man was arrested while building a shed with garbage on a stranger's property.
Okay, that
Wait,
is
wait, wait.
so normal.
Read
Like,
it again.
like thong, like underwear thong, or like thongs, like sandal thongs? Because Florida, everybody's got thongs on.
I want to guess an underwear thong.
Right, because you wouldn't get arrested for wearing sandals.
Yeah, I mean we've seen a good amount of people in thongs.
You
in
go
Fort
to
Lauderdale Beach.
Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale Beach.
Have you owned a thong?
I've never owned a thong, but I did when I was younger. I used to pull my underwear into my butt to make it a thong. I don't know why.
I think every boy did that.
I
feel
don't like
The
my
thong song was
whitey
big.
tighties. I'd tuck them into my butt because I thought it was funny. I don't know.
I used to like to tuck and then do that. I don't have a penis.
The, what?
Oh, girl.
Yeah, that was my favorite joke.
Where'd my
Okay.
weenie go?
Where'd my weenie go?
This is a weird
Oh,
podcast.
I love or pushing my breasts together and making them
Oh
look
my
like tits.
God.
Oh, that's my favorite look. Okay, for the people that
Florida man pushes his breast together
look.
and tucks
Oh
his
my-
wiener.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't do
You
that.
know what? No, I'm gonna do it even better. 1 second.
Oh my God, guys! If you're listening
God.
right now, you
Good
don't want
for
to
you
watch this
because
video.
you don't wanna
He's pinching his nipples
The
together.
hair in between it.
Oh,
Zane, that's like strangely realistic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like tape it up and just walk around and see people's reactions because
got-
I'd be like just normal clothes and then just a pair
that
of tits.
good cleavage.
Good. It's like a good Corinna cleavage. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen his tits.
I know the vacuum cleaner man. Heath, your Florida man was a thong-wearing Florida man building a shed with garbage on a stranger's property.
Love that.
Nice.
Give it up for April
it up.
5th.
All right.
Wow.
Who's next? Who's
November,
next?
November 18th.
November 18th, which is Mariah's birthday. I'm kidding. It's her birthday. I know. Zane, yours was actually not. It was kind of the least funniest one. It was
Ooh,
just,
okay, we can skip mine then.
Well, no. Florida man tried to steal vending machine from apartment complex.
That's kind of fun.
That's fun.
That's very on brand.
Yeah,
I'd say.
these aren't surprising to Heath and I though. These are just so normal in Florida.
That stuff happens left and right.
Exactly.
I know. It seems
That's the
pretty
shit we see in person. You know what I'm saying?
That's the shit we've done. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Oh yeah, because you have a vending machine right here next to you.
It wasn't stolen.
And then Mariah was a Florida man demands cash and donuts during a Krispy Kreme robbery attempt.
I've 100% heard that story before.
Whoa.
I've heard that story
I
before.
love that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
That's
This
funny.
is like a fortune cookie. I love this.
Which crime did I commit today?
And this one is mine. Florida man with Sesame Street haircut had heroin in his rectum.
Hold on.
Sesame
Wait, what is a
Street?
Sesame Street
Yeah,
haircut?
why?
That's actually a really good question, and I'm going to pull that up right now. What do you think a Sesame Street
To me,
haircut
I
is?
pictured
Bird, like-
I
like
pictured
this.
Kodak Black.
Like
I
that.
picture like curly.
I picture this, like the mohawk, but it goes down a little bit.
I pictured
Oh.
Kodak Black when he had like those little like balls all over
That's
his
a
head.
Jersey
okay.
Shore haircut.
Yeah, I don't see
This
what's
is
very
wrong,
Sesame
though.
Street about it.
I don't think they meant Sesame Street as the show. I think they just meant it was probably like a
Oh,
street
I think he
and-
looks like Bert and Ernie.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so it
Because
is
he
a
kind
show.
of has like a little straight top, like
flat
Vanilla
top.
Ice
Timothy
looking.
Davis, if you're listening.
All right.
Okay, guys. Well, that was your segment of Florida Man Birthday Game.
That was one hell of an intro to a spooky conspiracy theory episode.
So this one is one that was one of the top ones. I don't think it's okay. Here's what it is. Every famous person who has died lately only has one eye in their Instagram picture.
Oh, I saw that. That's it's really
Like
creepy.
The last Instagram picture, one eye is covered.
yeah,
Right.
and was it all rappers? Correct.
Yeah, a lot of the
No, it was-
famous rappers.
it was-
And then the one guy, I don't know his name, the guy from The Descendants who passed away, the Disney Channel
Cameron
star.
Boyce.
Cameron Boyce.
Yes, sorry, I don't know his name. He was different time on Disney Channel for me, but
He
yes.
had
So
one eye
they
as well?
all have one eye. Like someone's like sideways, someone's covering their eye.
The reason why that's
don't
not, I feel like
know.
that's not weird. The other people that have died recently, their pictures are probably not one eye. So
I think it's a pretty weak theory.
Yeah, me
I do too.
But
I
I
think
agree.
it's weak.
Thank you.
It's a weak theory.
I don't know.
Well, then,
Interesting.
speaking of, that's one of the conspiracy theories are like celebrities. Who's still alive? Who's
Elvis?
not?
I hope Elvis.
I hope he's on a beach somewhere sipping like a margarita.
Oh.
I don't know how to back myself up. Like I've heard it. I don't know how to put it into words.
just say
Right,
what you've
just say it.
heard.
All of this stuff is coming from stuff that we've heard and we're trying to repeat.
Again, if you read the bio of our podcast, very uneducated people giving their very bad opinions on anything that we've
Yeah. People think that Elvis is still alive.
Tupac. Everybody thinks Tupac is still alive.
I feel like Tupac would have come
Yeah, I
forward
feel
and
like
be
it's way
enjoying
too
this
long.
fame. Definitely. But have you heard about Richard Simmons, though?
No.
No.
You know
what is
Richard
that?
Simmons, who's
Yeah.
like, he's
Yeah.
the
Sweating to the
fun
oldies.
guy with the
Yeah.
bedazzled tank
Right.
tops and did all the exercise videos, guy with the big afro. Well, he's been like missing out of the public eye for like a few years lately.
Yeah.
There's even like a whole podcast called Missing Richard Simmons. And he, has not been seen out in public. He's been just staying at home. And people think that his like housemaid is like keeping him like, like
Hostage almost inside of his own
yes,
house.
like telling him you don't need to be going out. You need to be staying just at home.
that
You don't need
happens
to be
so much. I
talking to
feel like with
people."
different people around the
Really?
world, they just get held hostage, not like physically, but just like mentally, like just
Weird.
Yeah, it's like one of
make them
those
feel like
uh,
they shouldn't go outside and shouldn't.
yeah,
Well,
Did you
just
hear about the Amelia Earhart conspiracy?
that
She's
The
in
Bermuda
Japan.
Triangle?
Japan. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
no
I don't know, it's fun.
way.
So how did that
I don't
happen?
think I believe any of these. It's just so fun. Like I'm having fun. Are you guys having?
I'm having a blast.
I love it.
It's
We
spooky.
have no idea
What are we talking about? Okay,
I have then
God,
besides
let's guys, let's get really deep into it. Let's get deep into these
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
theories
let's
because
have
there is
fun.
some that we want to
all
talk about.
keep
They're
saying
like,
is, did you hear about this one? Oh, did you hear about?
We're
that
not
one?
actually talking about it. Or,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No,
if you guys
guys,
want me
let's
to
get
dive
into
deep
it.
into one, then by all means, I can dive deep into it.
Do you have one that you're like pretty familiar with?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
Tons of ones. Well, hold on. There's some fun ones that I have. Walt Disney, people say that he's like frozen.
Yes.
And that he's like buried under the park.
Yes.
Okay. What's the latest Disney movie that's had a lot of hype?
Frozen.
So
I know
people
about
think that Disney purposefully made this movie Frozen to swerve all the Google searches away from this rumor about Walt Disney being frozen.
Because people were like trying to like debunk it and be like, Walt Disney's frozen. They're trying to like figure out what's going on.
It is a really weird title to name a movie, like a Disney movie. Frozen.
I know.
Because normally it'd be Snow White, Sleeping Beauty.
Interesting.
But this one, it's not.
Also,
what's the names of the princesses?
The
me.
names of the princess? Elsa?
Elsa. That's a
name.
great title for a Disney movie. Elsa.
And now the conspiracy about this Frozen with the Frozen thing is coming out. So they're like, oh, Frozen 2. Gotta cover this one up.
Yeah.
Frozen
Wow.
That's good, Bubba.
Thank you.
Yeah, but
All right, that's enough from
I
me.
don't think that he was actually really frozen though, like Walt Disney wasn't. I mean, he was, very wealthy man and eccentric. But
Next
no,
one, Frozen
there's
3,
nothing-
Return of Disney Ice Princess. Just every word just connected to it. Just
We
flood it.
actually went to Walt Disney's house like 2 months ago.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
His actual
You
house.
did.
What'd you
don't
do
remember
at
that?
Walt Disney's house?
I went to.
Yeah. We both did. We
Hold
were
on.
at the gates
When?
when we test drove your car.
That was Walt Disney's
That
house.
was Walt Disney's house.
Oh, that's why there's Mickey Mouse on the gates.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just
Yeah.
replace the gates?
Because it's
that's
Walt
iconic.
Disney's house. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think like can you go visit it at all or
No, it's owned by somebody right now.
You sure?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Walt Disney's house. Okay, I don't remember that being said.
Well, the kid who lives there. Yeah.
I don't want to like talk about stuff. Like
Oh, it's an actual. Okay, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
you.
But he's the reason why I bought the car.
Oh, really?
that. Yeah, his parents bought Walt Disney's. Well, it was owned by somebody else, and then that guy sold it to this kid's parents.
Okay.
Crazy.
Oh, Mariah, you
Yes.
had this. You brought a really interesting conspiracy
oh, yeah,
thing
yeah,
to the
yeah.
table. You tell them just like rocks and.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God.
so rocks, right? Like just rocks outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think rocks are soft until touched. Like,
Yeah,
my
there's
God.
a lot of people think this.
What?
Mariah, what shit you smoking?
don't ask me to back it up, please. Please.
You cannot say that. What?
Go outside and touch a rock.
I could
It's
poke
gonna
a
be
rock with a
hard.
stick.
How do you know it's gonna be hard? Because you're touching it. Exactly. It knows that
That's like saying that couch is fucking not a couch until you touch it. But why? I just want to know why people think that.
There is a weird theory about just like expanding on that all of this is a simulation and it's like a video game. Yes. Everything in a video game looks real. Like it's real when you want it to be real. Does that make sense? Like this cup, I'm seeing a cup sitting here, but it's real when I make it real, and I need it to be touched.
The whole simulation thing, I can't really believe it because me and you are seeing the same thing. Unless my simulation is just you guys are all exist in my simulation, but someone else's simulation is completely different. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? How does that make sense? Because you're a real person. You're a real person. I know you guys are real people.
But you think that we're real. Like right
and
now,
is this a simulation fucking with
I'm
me
just
right
saying,
now?
like we could be like an avatar, and like we're on another planet, and we're like
yeah,
logging
someone's
into
created
this
us to
simulation.
like
It's hard to believe that.
Do you ever hear those stories of like the trumpets being heard in the
Yeah,
sky?
that is weird.
Oh no, that's weird.
What
yeah,
is
that's
that?
weird.
What is going on?
People will hear sounds of trumpets like in Texas, but also in Germany. Just trumpets filling the sky. They'll hear trumpets and they'll hear almost like mechanic construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
robotic
transformer
sounds.
noises.
Yeah, in the sky.
Like where's that coming from? Because I've heard that too.
I don't know, the highway, like over
The
yonder.
bridge being built.
Wait, that's kind of freaky.
Yeah, it's
That's-
pretty
Guys,
cool.
I have
love
actually a really good one. TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio is actually planted by the government.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and her sister is like a branch of her robot.
What?
Okay.
No, it is. It's crazy.
I want to
Zane.
believe this.
no,
I
really,
want
it's,
to.
it's crazy. You haven't seen like the anonymous like
You watched our
videos
meetup
of her?
video, right?
The
Government.
meetup was simulated, just fucking the whole thing.
I don't know of her specifically, but I do think people are planted and become something to influence the youth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
almost along the lines of like Illuminati, to influence the future of
Hi,
society.
I'm Poppy.
That's weird.
She's brilliant. I like Poppy.
I think that whole Poppy thing, I think she's trying to be one of those things. And I see
Gotcha.
right through
What
it.
about little Michaela?
Who?
Oh, that's so interesting. I don't
I still don't know
how
what
to
to
feel
think
about
about
that.
Who is
I-
that?
What's little
I would love
Michaela?
to see
She's like-
who actually poses as her, because obviously everything is
Oh,
like
it's the artificial intelligent.
Oh, I like Lil Michaela.
Wait, I've never.
Yes. I'm
I
kind
think
of
it's interesting.
I'm down with it. I mean, like, yes, it's not a real person, or it's like a person with like a digital face on top of it, but it's a really like interesting way of like art and like self-expression and like
Yeah.
changes, I don't know, kind of what it means to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, it's what's weird is that this little Michaela girl lately has been going on like those teens or like people react videos, like those teens react
There's
videos.
no way. Hold on,
Really?
I've never seen a video of her.
Me neither.
She-
I've never seen her in action.
No, yeah.
There's videos of her.
Yes, but it's like I think what they do is it's a girl's body, and then they go in and digitally do her face.
Gotcha.
Really?
And she answers everything and stuff, but she just has this digital face that they go and implant.
They edit this video and then they send the final video to Michaela's room, and
Yes,
they just
yes. I think they come in
They're
and
going to that extent.
yeah,
Interesting.
What's even scarier is, you know what like deep fakes are?
yeah.
What is
Deep
that?
fakes are
Yeah, you know.
horrifying. Like there'll be interviews of somebody talking, and then they'll just transform into Tom Cruise. Like slowly, their face will become Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise will be sitting here talking and like. If I had the technology, you could make me look like David right now talking.
Right.
And
And
especially-
Are you talking about the Will Smith videos that have been?
Yes,
you're
or the
talking
one
about that?
with like Steve Buscemi on Jennifer Lawrence's
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
and it
Yeah.
looks so real, and especially because there's all this content and videos of
Right.
you out there. So for people like us, people could deep fake us because there's all this video content of us out there talking to the camera.
It's
Yeah.
us saying probably every word in the dictionary, us doing every facial expression.
Yeah.
And you could just turn that into whatever you want it to be.
Was I with you guys when we met? Somebody was showing us something where we say all the alphabets and we say all these random little things, and they can make you say whatever they want.
What?
Oh, well,
I
that's
forget
What
who
the
it was that I was
hell?
having this conversation with, and
there's a fake conversation of Joe Rogan where it's his voice and
Yes.
they put it together. Like if you have everything
Yeah.
of Joe Rogan he's ever said, and then you like put it into like a algorithm type thing, and you could type in whatever you want it to be, and it will make it sound like
make him say
he's-
whatever you want.
Dude, that's so scary for the future. Then
Yeah.
what that means on like how do we decipher what is a
Right.
real video, like of the president
Yeah.
or someone of big importance telling
Right.
you something,
Yeah.
versus that being a deep fake.
It's scary, but look, I'm sitting back, I'm eating my popcorn, I'm gonna see what happens.
Yeah,
you
Next,
know?
Relax,
next
just
YouTuber,
live.
next YouTuber does something stupid, gets exposed, and like, no, it was a deep fake. It was a deep fake. Like, that's their
It was
fault.
a deep fake.
Guys, it's not me.
You guys know about the conspiracy theory with going on with all these fires? How like the fires are started from these lasers coming from the
Yeah.
satellites, like the
And they're
government's-
targeted.
They're targeted, so they'll target certain areas. This was like a year ago, like something about like people were talking shit about Trump, and the people that were talking shit about Trump, their houses like caught fire. Because
No
and only that
way.
section was like caught. But then you would look everywhere else, and everywhere was just like perfect. Like houses were untouched around these other houses.
That's
Weird.
That's interesting. That I actually watched that video from Shane Dawson's video, and I thought that was really interesting.
Sure. I don't know. I guess I'm so skeptical like to all of this. This is such a funny topic that we're talking about.
Do you guys believe that people are being cloned at
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think so.
all? You really
100%.
think
I mean,
so?
they've cloned animals
Humans?
and stuff. I think.
You can
Yeah,
pay.
humans.
You can pay to be cloned.
Yeah.
Hold on. What do you mean you can pay to be cloned?
If you have the money, you can get it done.
You can have your horse cloned. You can have your dog cloned.
Where? If you had the money right now, how would you go get it? Like, where would you go?
You go to
These things cloned.
stem cell researchers.
Yeah.
This is like the limits of my knowledge.
I don't know it, like the website.
You can.
I don't
I
know.
don't
The
think it's that- I don't think
www.
it's that easy if you were to go get something like that cloned.
No, people who I do know that you can get like it's big in like the horse world. Like if you have a big time like winning horse and you want that horse to keep winning rather than like breeding it with itself, let's just get it cloned, and they're able to like
Crazy.
replicate the DNA and get it into like another horse. I'm pretty sure that's like true and actually happens. But it's so controversial because it's like, where do we draw the line between playing God
Right.
and the advancement of technology.
And you can also pay now to for the gender of your baby, right?
You can
and
pay
the
to,
color
like,
of their eyes and stuff.
Designer babies.
Really?
as they
Designer
call them.
babies.
Designer
Yep.
babe, that's scary.
It's crazy.
It is. And like, but then there's like benefits where who knows, maybe you do have like a mutation in your family history, and you really don't. Well, there's a chance of your kid having that mutation. If there's a way of removing that, do you do it? Or do you just play it as God plays it? You know,
know,
if
yeah.
there is God, I mean,
If we did have the decision, like if we knew before and there was a mutation, I bet you 100% of people would choose to like.
I think so.
but
Yeah,
it's
of
I
course.
know, but it's still like, but it was God's like.
But there's
plan.
something exciting about like having a baby and not knowing what it's gonna look
Yeah,
like.
that's
You know, I
fun.
think that's what
I
makes
love
it
that,
fun.
yeah.
And you're gonna love it. It doesn't matter what it is. You're gonna
Oh
love
my!
it.
Could you imagine if like it wasn't expensive and it was just like every normal person, like as soon as you're about to have your baby, you like put in like a little code, like what you want it to look like. Imagine what everybody would look like.
It'd be like a
What's gonna be sad
Build-A-Bear.
is that the rich people will start looking like really kind of nice, and then like you would only have to afford like certain features, which is like crazy to think.
You can
about.
only pay for like a good nose. The eyes are like a little bit more expensive.
No, but there's gonna be that like weird thing. Like, are you a designer baby? Like, did your parents design you like that, or like, no, I'm a natural born? And then will there be like different types of like segments
That's
where it's like,
so
I'm natural
weird.
born, I approve. People's Instagram bios, natural born.
Ew.
We're in 20 years, we're paid to promote companies that do that. So we're like, hey guys, you can use my code Zane if you want
Make
your
sure to
baby to
swipe
look
up
like
right
me.
Oh my gosh, that's
Whoa.
crazy.
Imagine you want like your baby to kind of look like David Dobrik, so you can like pay for that to like to get certain characteristics of David
Wow,
Dobrik
it's gonna
to make
get
your kid
there.
look like it.
But you know what, guys? In the meantime, do yourself a favor.
Buy our merch.
Please stop the gender reveal parties.
Yeah, the gender reveal.
Oh yeah, those are. It's so overrated. Oh my god.
They're
They are.
they're all.
I have not seen one where I was like, that was cool. We got to do that.
No.
They're
but-
awful.
The fuck up gender reveals are the funniest
they're
to watch
yeah.
though because
they deserve it.
they deserve.
Let's go back to conspiracies.
Yeah, no, let's
I
go
have
back
a
to
fun
conspiracy.
one that I think you guys will know about. I cannot explain. The Simpsons conspiracies.
Oh, that they predict the future
I love
Yeah,
in
that.
their
those
in
are
their
fun.
shows.
That's
Yeah.
actually insane.
There was one I saw on TikTok where it was like it was a clip of The Simpsons, and it was set in London, and it was like from like mid 90s, and there was this build, like you see Tower Bridge, and then you see in the back, like I think it's called like the Shard, or I don't know the name of the building, but it's a building that
It's a
wasn't
needle.
built
It's
yet.
like shaped like a needle. Yeah.
Yes, but it was like a building that wasn't built until recently.
Yeah, and like-
and there's no other building that would have
Exact
been there
shape.
next to the Tower Bridge.
There's like a little cut in the top where it goes like this, and it's the exact.
Well, do you think they
same
like
look.
did it on purpose, like to be like?
I think it's a good staff of writers, and there's
Yeah.
so many episodes of The Simpsons. There's so many where like they're bound to like be
Predict
like,
something.
Something's bound to be in
It's
line.
so cool.
Were you there at David's house when we watched the video of how big the universe actually is?
Yeah.
Were you there? So it's crazy just seeing how small our fucking planet
Yeah.
is compared to. Do you think this isn't a conspiracy theory? I'm just really interested to see
Right.
what. Do you think there's another Earth somewhere else where people are living on there? They have a completely different life on there than us.
But it's just like us.
So you think is there aliens?
There's no way. Not. I wouldn't say aliens,
It's kinda
but
but
just like
they would
humans.
be an alien.
other. Sure, yeah, they're aliens,
Right.
Compared to
Right.
what we. But just another planet with humans, but they just live completely differently.
I would love
Yeah,
to think
100%.
so. That's
100%.
fun.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy to think about that. Like imagine.
Crazy.
Have you ever seen that movie Another Earth? Where like, it's set like in present day, and one day you wake up and you looked outside and you saw Earth in the sky. Like, okay, this is like the beginning of the movie, and then everybody on Earth starts freaking out. They're like, "What is that? That's Earth in the sky. Why are we looking at Earth?" And so in the movie, there was like this weird duplication in the cosmos that caused Earth to completely separate you. So like this time in this life, at one point it just goes boom. So now you're living in two separate dimensions, but of like the same place. So there's another version of you out there, but living in a whole different universe. And it's crazy because in the movie they get in contact with the Earth. They go, "Who is it? What planet is it?" And it's like, "We're you guys." And it's the person on like who's like the
How
president.
did they know, but the other people don't know that they're just a.
Because when the person contacts the planet, it's like, "Who are you? Who's like on behalf the person speaking on
Yeah.
behalf of the planet?" it's them that they're talking to.
How are they aware of what's going on, but not the other planet?
They talk about it and stuff,
Got
and
it.
it all goes down. And it's
That's
about this
interesting.
girl.
Again, it's just a movie. Why am I
Yeah.
even questioning
I
this?
love
But-
alien stuff though.
Yeah.
I
love
100% think aliens are real.
Yeah, there has to be because we are so small in this universe. It's just there's no way.
Okay, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
There's not.
I think aliens built the pyramids.
You've seen them.
Going to the pyramids, you realize how much bigger and insane they actually are.
You don't think those are made by because I feel
No.
like humans
No.
can. I mean, look at the buildings
with Heath.
look at the buildings in our country, like how tall they are. You would think aliens built that shit too.
No, because we have machines. Back then,
The
this
technology-
is
But
what he
they
learned.
made like those pulley systems that they would.
Yeah,
each-
but
each-
listen
each-
to Heath. Listen to
Okay.
Heath. Listen.
Each rock is like 5 tons. And they're thousands and thousands and thousands of them to get to the top of the pyramid that they stacked. And the rocks that were used were mined from a quarry hundreds of miles down the river. And they had to go upstream.
One at a
with
time.
one at a time. They're all perfectly cut at 90-degree angles with no if in today's world we could not duplicate the pyramids with the technology
it's
that
called
they have.
slaves.
I mean, you could.
No. Obviously,
I mean, you could
they
definitely
say-
you could definitely duplicate it with what we have now, but
no, with our technology now, I'm saying yes. But trying to do it the way they supposedly did it, there's no way. It would take so fucking. Not even that.
but
it would
they
take
had
so
all
long.
the time.
The Egyptians documented absolutely everything that they did, their entire civilization, but there's not one thing about the pyramids, about how it was built, about who did it. It's just not in their history.
Wow.
And Heath was there, so he saw how big these.
You were
things
there back then when they were building the pyramid.
Yes,
Oh
it was
my
crazy.
god.
No, but
Y'all,
How
we
do you
are.
think he knows?
stupid.
Oh, but did you hear this though? Like, UFO sightings are just humans from the future on a time traveling safari.
Cool.
Oh,
That's
that's
funny to think about.
That's funny.
That's
I
cute.
love. That's my
Like,
favorite one.
yeah.
They're just on a-
Humans,
on
they're
a-
just like, let's go hop to Earth, and we're gonna fuck with them, and we're gonna
Yeah, we're-
act like we're in UFOs. So they're just like, blue.
But do you think there's such a huge like there's a huge like rules and protocol where like guys, we need to just
Hands in the
calm
vehicle.
down.
yes, hands. This is
Oh my gosh.
like that is like the most dangerous thing they can do
Oh
in
my
that world
gosh,
is
that's
fuck
so
with
fun.
us, our past,
Do you
or
ever-
their past.
Do you
Yeah.
believe in the abduction stories? People
Like-
getting abducted by aliens?
I don't know.
I mean, I trust me. I want to believe
No,
Mariah.
I know. It's just
I really
fun.
do.
Like there's a bunch of stories where people disappear, like they're a missing person. Like say someone, I forget, there was a man, he lived somewhere and he ended up in California, but like doesn't know how he got there. And all, it's like a bunch of stories like that. Like they end up somewhere else.
Crack is a crazy drug.
And
Yeah.
they all have the same story where it's like, I saw this light and that was the last thing I remember.
This reminds me of that story reminds me of a documentary about a girl that she believed that she was taken by aliens, but it was actually her abductor that like put these headphones in her
Yes!
ear, and he was recording all this thing
Yes,
that made him
he
sound
made
like an
her
alien.
believe.
So when I watched that whole, because that whole documentary is insane. It's
wild,
like
yeah.
for this guy to make this girl believe that she was
She got abducted
abducted
by
and she has to do all these things to return back to Earth is
She called
crazy.
her family and told them that she was abducted, but she's okay and she's gonna
What?
yeah.
Imagine
She was drugging her. Like,
he was yes, he was
Yeah.
drugging her
So
throughout
she
this
would
process.
wake up kind of
Yeah.
disoriented and listening to this like it was a radio that the guy recorded.
You've never watched this? I feel like you told me to watch this, or was it you that told me to watch it? Someone told me to
Maybe
watch
we
it.
I
talked
think
about
this
it.
sounds really familiar, and I think I know about this case.
Yeah, I forget the
And
girl's
did
name.
they release?
I forget.
Did they release the woman back into? Like,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this guy, her abductor, he like became friends with the family. He became
Yeah.
like he was their neighbor, became really good, close with all of them. He tried to like make the wife cheat on her husband, and also the husband cheat on his wife with him. Like he was such a master manipulator. He
Oh
would, like,
my
Yeah, when the
God.
girl got
Yeah.
released, it took them years for like she had to go into therapy because she still was convincing people that she was abducted and stuff, even
Yeah.
though she was like safe with her family.
Oh, have you guys heard the conspiracy theory about Dollar Shave Club?
No.
No,
What is
what?
that?
You know, the ones that make comfortable, convenient, and customizable kits, and in it have amazing products that they spent years developing, crafting, and refining.
What?
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Wah, 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 wah.
Hey, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's a fact.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Wah, 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 wah.
Guys, get exactly what you want when you want it, whether it's once a month or a couple times a year.
Guys, make sure to treat yourself with a Dollar Shave Club Ultimate Shave gift set.
They've got everything you need in there. They've got the razor, the 6 razor package, the post-shave dew, the shave butter, the prep scrub. They got it all. So make sure to treat yourself. You're going to love it. Everybody that I know has enjoyed it.
And
Baby.
for a hairy guy like me, I am constantly using Dollar Shave Club, baby. They keep me soft, hairless, and smooth, and just in time for the holidays so I can cuddle up with my loved one if I have one.
Oh, Zane. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, guys, if you want to check it out, go to dollarshaveclub.com/unfiltered.
And again, that's dollarshaveclub.com/unfiltered to save on these ultimate shave products.
Freaky.
Ooh, I love every time we talk about this story, it makes me excited. The JonBenet Ramsey.
JonBenet Ramsey. Guys.
That is such an interesting
They go
story.
off on
Which
it. They love
I feel
this.
like at this point we all know what really happened. But,
Yeah.
but explain for the people
Do we
listening
or
if you
do
don't
we
know.
not? Okay, well,
Make it
JonBenet
like
Ramsey.
long
If
story
you're
short.
not familiar with the case of JonBenet Ramsey, this happened in, I'm pretty sure, the early '90s. She was a child pageant queen on Christmas night, the night of Christmas, December 25th. That night, JonBenet was found in her house. Well, the next day, strangled and left a ransom note from a person claiming that they had JonBenet, they needed money, and they found it to her strangled and bound and tied in the basement. And the parents said they didn't do it. The brother said he didn't do it. But all of these things add up where it looks like that wasn't really the case. Am I saying everything
Yes,
correctly?
pretty much, yeah. And like there was certain details like the pineapple.
Oh,
on
the pineapple. Okay, well, what's craziest thing is like somebody coming to abduct a child on the night of Christmas.
Yeah.
Like that's really weird. Everybody's home on like the night or
Right.
night of
Hanging out with
Christmas.
their family.
Even murderers and kidnappers, they have a family too. They were probably spending it
Yeah,
with
they
them.
said it. They said it entered through a window. Didn't look like it. And one thing that was really weird about the ransom note, it had very like maternal language in it. So like the first line of the ransom note is, "Listen carefully, John." Like
Which is
Like
who
something your
you
mom
nev-
would
yeah.
say.
Yes,
Right.
no, like, evil abductor child, right? Listen carefully. We represent a small foreign faction of people who do not particularly like you. One very maternal kind of language.
Don't particularly?
Yeah, don't particularly like you. And then one thing that was really interesting is another line in the ransom note that was like, "Don't try to grow a brain, John," which is also a line from like a John Wayne movie. And in the game room of the house are all John Wayne like movie posters on the walls. So like this family was like realized that they lost their daughter. The daughter had been dead because I think the brother killed her.
Which
but that they
accidents happen.
Right.
Like it
So
was just an
basically-
awful accident.
Right. If you're confused, the conspiracy is that the brother hit
Accidentally.
Well, okay, he was eating pineapples at the dinner table, and JonBenet went up and took a pineapple. He got mad. He hit her over the head with a flashlight.
like a mag light, yeah.
Yeah, a flashlight.
Which a kid
knocked her
would
out.
do. Like I feel like a kid
Right.
would hit another kid with something
Yes,
like
but
that.
it's a
Right.
stupid accident. But like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right, it's
like,
a freak accident. Right, it knocked her out, and that was it. And the parents panicked, and they wrote this ransom note.
Because they didn't want to
Their
lose
kid.
both kids.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
and they
But
wanted
it
to
was
lose
an
both of their
accident,
kids
right.
that night.
Because they knew that like he would never intentionally try to murder her.
right.
But
They were-
And I bet they were drunk too, because they'd come back from a Christmas party, and they still like apparently
Hopped
were wearing
up
the
on
clothes.
eggnog.
Right.
They
but
were-
hold on,
And then
who
they just
was-
had to run.
So they let these kids just in the house by themselves. These two little kids.
No, the JonBenet had wet the bed. The mom went upstairs. Well, had made Bert a bowl of pineapple. JonBenet wet the bed. She went upstairs to go clean the bed. JonBenet comes down, eats the pineapple. This is all theory. And Bert
so
gets
they were
mad.
home already.
They're downstairs. The mom's upstairs cleaning up the bed. I think
Oh my
upstairs
God.
at least, or wherever in this house.
Got it.
And then the kids, this whole thing happens, and then the brother hits her. I also think the brother hit her, realized what he did, and then spent some time with her trying to bring her back alive. Because they said that there's these 2 marks on her neck that they say
yeah.
that was like she was by like a stun gun. But like a stun gun, a person would leap and scream and stuff. But they think that the brother had the railroad track and unhooked it, and then took the little 2 parts and was trying to like bring her back to
Like
I
life.
feel like a little
Resuscitate
kid
her.
wouldn't think to do that though.
This kid is demented. You can look at the
Well,
videos.
you could see his interviews like today, even. And
He's weird.
Him
He's
talking
weird
about
about
it.
it.
He's just kind of like smile. He has this like smirk on, and he's kind of just a pleasant face on. It's very strange, but I understand people handle situations differently, but it's very
and it was it's
uneasy.
He was probably like forced to just believe that he didn't he was like, you didn't hurt her, you didn't hurt her, you
Right,
didn't hurt her.
yeah.
Just like he can believe
Kids
he
are
never
sponges.
touched her.
And
Like, they're
people
gonna-
people have like confessed and thought they did murders that they didn't do because of how many times they were told they did it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's always crazy to me because like obviously everyone's different, but like when I watch those tapes, I'm like, it doesn't matter how fucked up I am or how drunk, I would never just confess to a murder I did not do. I would just keep on fighting. But it's crazy that just some people they're just mentally fucking.
Yeah. Well, that also, and then people like commit to murders because if they don't, then they're going to be in prison even longer. And it's like, well, you're going to go to jail anyway. So it's like you can get life, or if you confess and do like a plea bargain, you'll do 30, 20 years.
Fucked up.
So
That's crazy.
That's so messed up.
And they got away with it. Till this day, no one has ever been convicted for the crime of JonBenet Ramsey. The mom
so
died
sad.
of cancer, and the dad, I think the dad dates somebody who was tied to the case. Like,
Damn.
Isn't it crazy if that should happen now? Immediately they would have been arrested. Like they would, like
who
it
knows?
would have been
I also
so
think
easy.
they were rich and they were white, and people wanted to believe that a man came in and abducted them. And even the mom in her interviews is like, "I did not kill JonBenet," and I believe her. I believe the mom that they didn't kill her.
Yeah.
But they did. They sure as hell covered it up.
Oof.
I
It's gotta be
know.
horrifying coming down and seeing your like little daughter murdered by the like that's gotta mess you up.
Realistically, what would happen in that situation? At the time, how would the police have handled that?
You're charged as a minor.
The kid would have been charged.
Yeah.
As a
Yes.
minor.
You're a minor.
But when you're a kid and you hit, like,
It was
you're,
a- yeah,
in your
it
head,
probably-
you're not trying to kill her. You're just
No,
like, hey,
yeah.
you
Right,
ate my
it'd be-
food.
He would
You'd
go
be
to like a
charged as-
mental hospital
yeah.
for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay. I for some reason, I thought, like, there was a certain age as a kid where if you did do that, obviously you didn't do it, like.
When I was in AP psychology in high school, we did a field trip to the Terrell State Mental Hospital, which is like a state-run mental hospital for like, patients or whatever. Like, and it's like, it was a really sad, spooky place. And I mean, it's like it was just like one flew over the cuckoo's nest type stuff. Like, it was pretty freaky. But what was weird is that there was a building when they were giving us a tour of the mental hospital. They go, that's where all the children are that we keep at our facility. Those are kids who've have accidentally killed someone.
What?
Wow.
Or like where they like keep them, like because they're like in like a rehabilitation kind of thing. Like you
Wow.
can't like
That's so
put a
sad.
kid
Like,
in a
those are
cell.
like actual kids that I feel bad for because, like,
They could
you
also
have
be
no
like,
idea what.
little kids like can have issues like,
Yeah.
and they have to be institutionalized.
There was a story of a young kid. He was like 12 years old. This was way like years ago. There was a little boy and he was walking to the park or to school. I forget the story really. But I think he was like maybe 6 years old and it was like a block away from the house. And back then it was okay. Like just walk to the park. That's fine. Like whatever. His mom watched him leave, whatever. He left, never came back after the park. I think he went to camp, never came back after camp. Long story short, they found out a 12-year-old boy purposely killed him. He strangled him, just beat him to death, like killed him. And the kid like went to jail and he got released eventually. He's like maybe 30, 40 now, something like that. I could be
Jesus.
wrong. And then they had an interview and he like just had like mental issues. He like went to like institutes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And he's like totally normal now, but like it's crazy to see like he was 12 years old and just went to jail. That was it. Like he
That's
was done.
insane.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy.
Damn.
the kid's parents
Yeah.
probably see this 34-year-old just like that's our son's murderer just out and about. Like,
Crazy,
that's it.
yeah.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
so that's fucking
It's
nuts.
really sad, yeah.
Well, on a lighter note,
Happy New
do you
Year.
guys think that cops go on Waze and leave random police sightings to cause people to slow down without actually having to stay and check?
Oh, Waze is an app.
Hold on, can you say that one more time? I did not.
So do you
understand
think
That's a funny one.
that. Don't react. Don't react. 'Cause I don't
Wow.
understand what you
Wait,
just said.
do you think cops go on Waze, Waze the app, and they leave random like police sightings, like police markers, like
Okay.
when there's like a cop on the road to like check on
Slow-
people?
yeah.
To cause people to slow down without actually having to go there and
That's
like
really funny.
check.
That is really funny.
I don't use Waze. That's why I'm so fucking confused
Oh,
right
so
now.
there's
So
like a
on,
little-
on the map, it'll be like cop up ahead in a mile. So you'd be like, oh shit, slow down, be careful.
Got it. Okay.
But they're
I'm sorry.
saying like, do they think cops are saying that there's a cop up ahead?
Oh, I'm sure. My favorite when it comes, since we're talking about conspiracy theories, I've been loving the Mandela effects. You know the Mandela
The Mandela.
effects?
The Mandela effect,
The
yes.
Mandela effect, because there's so many and they're all fucking crazy. Because
There's
they're
a
all
bunch of good ones.
a bunch of good ones. Okay, you guys tell me. Remember Looney Tunes?
Yeah.
Spell Looney Tunes.
No,
the
I
cartoon.
know. I don't want to.
LOONEY.
TUNES.
TUNES.
That's not how it was always spelled, was it?
I thought it was T-O-O.
Wait, is that how it's spelled?
Everybody says that they thought it was Toons because they're cartoons or tunes.
Yeah, I thought
So I
it was
always
that.
thought it was tunes, but it's actually Looney Tunes, Tunes.
Oh,
It's a
there's a
show.
similar one like that with Fruit Loops.
Oh,
Fruit Loops
yes.
But Fruit Loops, I always saw OOT.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought FRUIT.
Me too.
Really?
The Berenstein Bears fucked me up.
Oh,
Yeah.
That one is just
That
ugly.
one, that one, I did not believe until I went back to. Well, guys, before we get to Berenstein Bears, it's a
Old children's
yeah, it's an old
book.
children's book, and you would always say it like the Berenstein Bears. You would never say the Berenstain Bears. So when this came about, this came out like what 4 years ago. Everybody was talking about it, that it's
Yeah.
actually called, named, it's the Berenstain Bears, not the Berenstein Bears. I did not believe it. I thought it was like Google
Right.
fucking with us. When I went to my dad's house, I went straight to the garage because that's what all of
looked
our
at the
children's
book?
books was. Pulled out the book and it was fucking Berenstain. I just could not believe it because it didn't never look like the AIN. It always looked like EIN.
Yes, and I think it was because we were kids. It's in cursive. We don't really understand cursive, and I think our parents are picking up the books, reading to us, and they're
This
like,
is the
they're like,
Berenstein
what is
Bears.
this? The Berenstein Bears. Let's just read it.
But
Like,
why? How are all of our parents making the same fucking mistake?
because you don't meet a lot of people with the last name Stain. You meet a lot of Steens and Steins, and so I think it's just tricky on the eye.
Got
You know
it.
why it's called the Mandela effect, though?
I do.
Tell me, Mariah.
Well, there was a man named Nelson Mandela, and he went to jail, and people remember him dying in jail in the 80s, correct?
Yes.
But he actually died in 2000. I could do this. 9,
Yes.
6, 9.
Probably 9. I think it was pretty recently.
Yes, that's where the Mandela effect
years
came
ago.
from.
Got
Thank
it.
you very much.
Yes.
Very well, thank you.
I did it.
Good job. Yeah.
All right, well,
Easy.
let's not
I
drop the
did
whole
it.
set.
Okay, I don't need to talk for the rest of the time.
This
now.
is gonna fuck y'all up.
All
Okay,
right.
bring it.
Spell the shoe brand. Spell Skechers.
SKECHERS.
Well, you're not making it fun.
Well, what did you think it was?
I thought it was TCHERS.
I don't think it's called
I feel
the
like
Mandela
I
effect.
feel like this is a bunch of kids like, yeah, there was a T, like they're just trying to make their own Mandela
wait.
effect.
Did,
It wasn't a sketch, etch a sketch.
Etch-a-sketch. okay, did Curious George have a tail?
No, wait. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
He didn't. No.
He didn't.
But
No.
if you look
He's
at
a
the picture,
monkey.
it looks like, why doesn't he have a tail?
He's supposed to have a tail. He's
He's
a
supposed
monkey.
to have a tail.
Yeah,
He
no,
doesn't.
But I always just remember him having a cute little butt without a tail. Like,
All right, Matt.
yeah, that is weird.
Another big
Okay.
Mandela one is the Star Wars, the Luke, I am your father.
Yes,
That one
good
fucks me up.
job.
That one really gets me going because I don't get it.
What does he say? He doesn't
I-
say Luke.
he doesn't say Luke.
He doesn't say Luke. He says,
Pulling it up. Sorry for the delay. He never says, Luke, I am your father. He actually says, no, I am your father.
And you know what's weird? The actor in there, he tried to quote it, and he said, "Luke, I am your father."
And he remembers it as
saying
James
Luke.
Earl Jones.
Wow.
Right. There was an interview, and he said he remembers saying, "Luke, I am your father," but it's never that.
Wow.
No,
That's-
I am your father. That's a big mess
weird.
up on pop culture.
Doesn't sound
we
right.
like that one. Like we all
Because
dropped the ball
everybody
on.
said, "Luke, I am your father."
Right.
All the
Yeah.
time. Remember the fan that you say, "Luke, I am your father."
Father,
It just kept on
yes.
going and going and
Yes.
never stopped.
Why did we hear that?
another crazy one. You know the song "We Are the Champions" by Queen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
hate
at the
this
very
one.
end, it's like, "We are the champion of the world."
Yeah.
Like at the very end.
He never
There-
says "my friends."
No, there's no of the world.
We are the champions.
Okay.
There is no of the world at the end of the song.
But in the Mighty Ducks,
I
at the
think
end,
I think in
do
the
they
end of Mighty Ducks, because I've heard of
So
the world.
Everybody
Wait.
always says of the world. So on this, like the actual album CD, the song does not say of the world. He sings it live in a performance and says of the world at the very end. And for some reason, that is what everybody like thinks or it just made it become such a thing. And everybody thinks it's like that at the end of the song.
I believe that. That makes sense. The movie Snow White. What does Snow White say to the mirror?
mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
She doesn't say mirror, mirror on the wall. She says magic mirror on the wall.
that's
Oh,
bullshit.
come on! Really?
Yeah.
How do I? Do I
Why do we always do mirror?
Magic
mirror?
mirror. I have no idea. Someone just said mirror, mirror on the wall. So people just decided
Screw this.
Magic
Wow.
mirror.
magic mirror on the wall.
Oh man.
Makes no sense.
Well, what do they say in Shrek?
Probably mirror, mirror on the wall.
Or maybe he just says mirror. Magic mirror. I can't believe it.
Huh.
Do you guys know? Okay. Do you guys like Carly Rae Jepsen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love her music.
Where
Okay.
has she been?
Well, have y'all
fun.
heard about the Carly Rae Jepsen conspiracy theory?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Okay, so there was this guy, Max Landis. He's a movie screenwriter. He made this living document. It's called A Scar No One Else Can See. And he calls it also this theory known as the Jepsen pattern. And through this theory, he argues that Jepsen has been secretly singing about the same thing over and over again. Okay? So, like, it would be like if the Beatles wrote, you know, that they song about Yellow Submarine, if every
Right.
one of their songs was just talking about a yellow submarine. Okay, follow me on this one. Okay, this is
Okay.
like a 60 to I think 100-page essay
Okay.
that you can read, and I read this a few years ago. Okay, the Jepsen pattern.
He got too much time.
I know he really does.
Okay, basically he says Jepsen only sings about temptation, obsession, limerence, secrets, escape, rejection, misery, and longing.
That's
Je-
everything you
That's
could
a lot.
that is
possibly
every.
think
That's
about.
every. Sounds like every song.
Okay,
All
but
right.
but Jepsen never sings about wanting to dance and have fun, clubbing and partying unless it's to escape something, and looking great or feeling confident.
I don't get it.
Point is,
what are you getting at?
Carly Rae Jepsen, all of her songs, even down to her Christmas song, are all this like reciprocated love. It's all this obsession about somebody and something. It's never like a green light, my lord. It's
So you're saying that these people in her life, they were really never in her life. They were just people
she's
that
hung up on this breakup, and every song
Oh,
is
okay,
about
so it's a
the
breakup.
breakup.
Okay.
Every song is it's all plucking on the same like string of this obsession and just pursuit of this man.
It's hard to write songs. She got one thing on her mind.
Exactly.
It's a very like extensive essay, but if you are a Carly Rae Jepsen fan, I highly recommend looking into it because it's fascinating. And the writing, the way this guy writes it is actually really good.
Have you looked into the Pixar theory?
Yeah.
Oh,
It
I
is
remember
so
that. Explain it. What it is again.
Cool. That every single Pixar movie is connected.
Oh, I've seen. There's movies that I've seen or screenshots that I've seen where you'd see characters in those movies,
Right.
but very fast. It'd be passing by.
It's so
Yeah.
hard, like where to start in it. The main
There's-
things I know is that Boo from Monsters
Inc.
Yeah.
is the witch in Brave.
Right.
BNL is the Big and Large, which funds the.
That type of
That's
connection.
the
I thought in
batteries.
the
It's
same.
the batteries in
it's
Toy Story, and it also
crazy.
owns the spaceship in Wall-E. And there's this whole thing about the
It's
energy
this whole
crisis.
world like of intertwined stuff.
Oh, I didn't think it was that
About-
connected.
And like Bug's Life is actually like the plant that at the end of Wall-E, that their first plant that they make on Earth is actually ends up becoming the tree in Wall-E, I'm pretty sure.
What? in the
What?
world?
It's really weird, and like there's a couple videos on YouTube you guys can look up that'll go into detail and really explain it all. But like it ties into like cars and everything. Like it's
Weird.
so weird.
It's really deep and very, very
Complex.
deep. It's so complex where it's so hard. Like we're not doing it justice talking about it.
Right.
But
At all. None of this is.
do y'all hear about mattress firms?
Yes, with
What?
the
Oh yes.
how
I
there's
love
like-
this theory.
Yeah, it's like
Hold on, no,
why
no,
are
no.
there so many mattress stores? But it's because
Yeah, why is there so? If you look up mattress firms, there's so many. There's way too many. Nobody goes to mattress
And you
stores.
keep one mattress for 10 years.
Exactly.
they
I know.
think it has to do with like the mob or
Money
something.
laundering.
Money laundering.
I
It's a-
have been suspicious about mattress places since I was a kid. I was
Very
always like,
Because I'm always like,
Interesting.
why are they always on sale?
yeah,
Yeah.
why are there so many? And like, why?
Hold on.
Yeah.
That is weird to think about.
Because
They're
people are not
so-
looking for mattresses all the time, but to have that many stores, it makes
Right.
no sense.
Never in my life have I gone into a mattress store and laid down on a mattress and
No,
bought it.
not
Like,
once.
I haven't.
Yeah.
No, but it was like it's such a.
It's always been like, I'll go to Ashley Furniture, buy a bed, and they're like, okay, it comes with a free mattress. And you're like,
And people
cool,
buy,
give
like-
me that.
Exactly.
There's an Avril Lavigne one. Did you have that one?
Oh, I did. I
That
did,
she committed
Mariah.
suicide?
No,
She
no. She died, and they replaced her with Melissa. Here, let me tell you the full thing. So it says over here, Avril Lavigne was replaced by a lookalike named Melissa in 2003.
Uh-huh.
The theory claims Lavigne, struggling with fame at the beginning of her career, began using a body double named Melissa. At some point, the real Lavigne is said to have died, so the record company replaced her with Melissa full time. Proof, in quotations, has included Lavigne's red carpet shots. Lavigne wears trousers. Melissa prefers dresses and skirts. So Melissa's constantly, she's constantly just wearing skirts and dresses now. And supposed differences between the facial features of pre-2003 Lavigne and the current incarnation. Theorists also believe Melissa has left clues in songs such as Slipped Away, in which she sings, "The day you slipped away was the day I found it won't be the same." There was even a publicity shot in which Lavigne had Melissa written on her hand. Spooky.
Let me see. Is there like a picture?
There's no picture. It's
there
just an
are
article.
a few pictures. It just looks like someone who got really famous and started making money and just got their teeth fixed and a little.
Oh, she looks better.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks like the more Barbie version, and that's right when
when you look at both pictures, it's the same nose. There's no way.
Yeah, there is no.
It's like back then doing Kylie Jenner. It would be the same thing.
People are just mad that she had a glow up. Okay, let her live.
Let her live her best life.
She was all punk. And
This is my favorite one. Have you heard the Taylor Swift theory, where she was cloned by a former satanic priestess?
Oh my god.
The theory, which dates back to
Yikes.
2000, claims Swift is an Illuminati clone of Zena LaVey, the daughter of the founder of the Church of Satan. Essentially, the two look similar. There are thousands of videos on YouTube comparing the two, which surely counts as proof. I would love to try to be a part of a cult for a month and just see where it goes. Just a dark cult. Well, Matt, you were saying that cults, they start off fun and then they just go south real quick.
Exactly. I'm always worried about cults because I really do feel like
It's like a tennis club you join, and
I'm impressionable, or I would totally go to a cult. This is what happened. Or this is what would happen. I'd go and be like, I'm just gonna check it out, just here to see what y'all's way of life is. Just see the good side of things, and you wouldn't be able to get me out of there. Because I'd be
in 2 months, there's just people sitting in a circle, Matt in the air, just.
No, that's exactly how it would go down, and I just think I'd get carried away in a cult.
I just want to be a part of something, you know?
Yeah. They sound fun.
We're the Vlog Squad.
Vlog Squad's getting old. We need to branch out. Try new satanic cults.
Oh my God, David's a cult leader.
We are in a cult.
Oh my! I forgot I was gonna look this up. I want to look up conspiracy theories of our friend group.
Daddly, I believe in it.
I believe
That's
in
a
it
conspiracy.
too. I still kind of believe in
what
it.
are the conspiracy theories about?
I don't know.
Group?
I just feel because people that have been watching us for the past 5 years, I'm sure that there's certain things that they believe or certain things that they think has happened in our friend group, or because we do hide. We don't hide, but we do there are a lot of things that has happened in our life that has not been on the internet, you know?
Oh, here's another one. Restaurant owners sing happy birthday to embarrass you. Because they don't want you to go in to take advantage of free birthday food.
Okay.
So they do it. They go, okay, well, if you want this free food, we're going to come out and sing it to you.
Oh, that's funny.
Because they don't want people just coming in
You know,
going,
restaurants
it's my birthday.
are not allowed to sing the actual happy birthday song.
I have heard that.
They are
What? It's like copyright
Everything's
type thing.
copyright, yeah. So they have to come up with their own song.
That's a
Every
happy
why?
birthday from the Chili's
Yeah.
crew. We wish it was their birthday so we can party too. Hey.
Wow.
Every single restaurant.
Interesting.
They're not allowed to sing it.
What's another fun one that we know of?
The moon landing.
Heath really, really believes that the moon landing didn't happen. And I kind of agree with Heath because the footage is fucking ridiculous. Because back then you saw the footage, was like, oh shit, that's a moon landing. But now seeing it, you're just like,
It looks like really bad editing.
really bad editing, really bad video shop that they did to the video.
So I don't think we went to the moon or like they say we did.
Yeah.
Or
at least that's not the real footage of the moon landing.
Well, supposedly NASA came out and they admitted that it's not the real landing.
Yeah.
That they accidentally taped over and re-recorded like a VHS and re-recorded over the real footage. So they had to fake it to have a video of it.
But there's this movie that came out called, what's the movie called?
Apollo 11?
Apollo 11, is that the
Right?
movie?
Apollo 11, yes.
Where they were able to find this footage and completely remaster it.
It's
And
like all footage of like the day it's happening. Like it looks great.
It looks I just can't believe that they hid this footage or they couldn't fix this footage.
Well,
What was
supposedly it's like a bunch of extra footage that like it was just old and nobody wanted to do anything with it. But they got it like digitally remastered to make it look cleaner and newer and edited, whatever. But yeah, that's all fine and there's footage of it, but still everything is great except the footage on the moon.
But they actually have, in the movie they have the actual footage of the moon landing, correct or no?
I don't know. It's very, very wonky. And
I just
also,
can't
there's a
believe they
bunch
hid
of
that
like
footage.
different like flaws within like lighting, and they like admit that it's not like the real footage.
They said they had to recreate it because they've lost it or something.
It's
If I had the tape of that, I would put it in a safe. Nobody touch it. Like, how does it get taped over?
But here's the thing. It's NASA. These are the smartest people in our nation.
They were-
most curious minds ever. How do you pull off a fake moon landing and not one person blows the whistle on that? Someone who's that smart and
billions of dollars does that.
to pay them to be quiet
Sure, yeah.
or just to create the illusion that they actually are doing something.
I'm sure there was a bunch of people working in NASA that thought that they were doing it.
But we had such a high tension with Russia. We needed to
It was-
compete.
it was
we
a
needed to be
race.
on that moon.
Right.
Was Russia faking it as well? Did they even go to the moon?
We
they-
beat them to it.
We beat them to it, exactly, but they had beat us to space. I don't know.
Why does
I-
it matter?
Hold on, where are the Russian astronauts? Where are they? Are they still in space?
They're Russian.
How many people do you think are in space
But,
right now? It's always a fun game to play.
Hold-
I don't believe
there's nobody
that
in space.
I don't
There's
think
people in
the
space right now?
ISS is
Yes,
real.
there's always somebody in space right now.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I don't think the
Guess-
ISS is
New
real, Matt.
information.
How many people do you think are in space right now?
I don't know, 6.
Is it like Xenon, the girl of the century? Do you think it's like that? There's a whole fucking
3 people are in space right now.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
who?
Who? I think it's let me pull it
Is
up.
that-
Oh wait, 6 people are in space right now.
Well, well,
Christina, Alexander, Andrew, Luca, Oleg, and Jessica.
People's
Shout
a-
out to them.
is that Mars thing still happening where they're sending 200 people to Mars and starting a new life there? That's not happening, right? That was
I don't know, that
they're
documentary that they
trying to
made
do
a
it,
while
but-
ago about it apparently wasn't real. Or
Oh,
Man.
who would like willingly sign up for that shit? Like,
a lot
don't
of people have dreams and ambitions, and that's what they want to do. This is a funky podcast.
God, imagine being the first YouTuber in Mars.
What a clickbait title.
Yeah.
You're like Protozoa from Xenon, like the first rock
So
star in Mars.
you think we went to the moon though?
There are days, Heath, where I am like 100%, and there are days where I'm
Right.
like, no.
No, I totally get
Biggest
that too.
thing.
But
I
why
think
not- why
Stanley
not go
Kubrick
back?
had something to do it. I think there's a tie to The Shining, and I think that the flag. Why is the flag moving? There's no
Atmosphere.
atmosphere in space. It's a vacuum.
There you go, Matt. Get it. There you go.
Okay,
Now we're
that's what I'm
talking.
skeptical about. But if
Why
you
was
look into
there-
it, there's answers for all of that stuff.
Why was
So-
there a marked prop on the ground? You heard
a
me?
marked prop on
There's
the ground?
Yeah, it's got
There's
like,
like a rock
an
that's like
initial on
marked
it.
as a prop.
Like
Got-
a little like.
Guys, you know Papa John's? Remember,
Yeah.
you know Papa John's? It's actually Mama John's.
You're
And we've been
fucking
reading
idiot.
it all
Shut
differently. No,
Shut up.
No, look at Google right now.
Type Mama John's.
Mama John's.
They just blew our mind right there.
I would have like a stroke, man. I'd be like, what is happening? I would think something was wrong.
That's really
Oh, I
funny.
definitely fucking pooed it. I hope you guys didn't hear me
That's
poot, but you
alright.
can
Oh,
definitely
dude.
smell it now.
Do you think we have aliens at Area 51 or anything like that?
Oh, what's that Area 51?
I
shit.
think
Did you
Area
see-
51 is a distraction, and it's actually in a whole different location. And they give us Area 51 for us to pay attention to it. And meanwhile, it's a whole different place.
Wait, I
you
wonder
see?
if all those people rushed to Area
But
51.
what's
Remember
Area
that?
51? What is it?
It's supposed to be hidden government information.
That's it?
It's a restricted place of government property, or no one is
Yeah.
allowed to go, and there's a lot of
So
high,
supposedly
requirements.
What
to
would
get
be
a
what would-
UFO went down and crashed there,
Oh, really?
and they built stuff around it and were doing.
Oh God!
research.
Imagine they had that shit just like a UFO and an alien, like just sitting in their
Well,
lab.
there's people that worked in Area 51. I forget his name. I was just watching the documentary on Netflix, but supposedly he was working in Area 51, and there's proof of that. And his job there was to recreate the technology from that spacecraft and like backwards engineer it in order to have that technology. And like he's come out and like said it. There's an element that we don't have,
Yeah.
but it's out of like our solar system or our planet. We don't have the element here, so it's a fake element that it's used to make this technology.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Do you think this world would go into chaos if they ever like release
Yeah.
footage of like an alien and a UFO?
Yeah.
Just imagine, how would you react to that? Like I would
love it.
Cults.
I would
Cults would happen. It would challenge people's belief in religion would fall
challenge
apart.
everything.
oh shit.
People,
Dude, if you
it would fuck everybody's heads up. Like, what even is real? What exists? What is
Yes,
life?
it really the biggest impact it would have on is religion. If you ever see the show The Leftovers on HBO, it's basically when like 10 or 15% of the population one day just vanishes out of thin air, and like society is like, it's like years later, but is trying to move on. But then people are like, wait, but do you remember how 15% of the population just disappeared? And like everybody is still hung up, but the world's trying to move on, and it's this weird and just shit gets interesting. But that's like.
I'm ready for something like that to happen. I just want something to talk about.
Yeah.
Something to live for, you know? Just
Yeah.
some crazy fucked up shit to happen.
I got ants in my pants.
You got
Right.
you're getting swamp ass. Mariah has
She's got
swamp ass.
swamp ass.
too. I've been standing up, itching my butt this entire
Ew, y'all
Guys,
nasty.
This is really funny. We actually recorded 2 podcasts today because we're all going to be out of town.
We all just changed
We
our
changed
shirts.
outfits trying to cover it up.
That's why I still sound nasally and sick in 2 episodes. Guys, I'm still sick after
Guys,
2
can we
weeks.
wrap soon? We've been talking for an hour and 25 minutes. I got to pick up a present. For...
Oh, Matt has to go.
My
Okay,
day.
well, Matt has to
Pick
go.
up
We
a hot
gotta
day.
go. All right, well,
Okay.
guys,
Well,
thank you.
it's my present for her.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's podcast.
Hopefully we didn't sound too stupid.
Yeah, no, I mean, whatever.
I'm so worried about this one.
You guys probably knew as much as we did on these conspiracy theories, but it's fun to be dumb about it together.
Right.
You know?
We're not
having fun.
professional. We don't have citations to pull that we know.
Exactly. So again, thank you. We post the audio version of our podcast every Monday on iTunes, Spotify, podcast app, all that good stuff. And then the video form we post on youtube.com/Zane and
Have
Ain't
a
it,
happy new year.
oh my God,
We should have a countdown.
yeah. 10,
9, 8,
7,
Matt's like,
6,
get me the fuck
5,
outta
4,
here.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
I can't believe we've been doing this podcast for a year.
There's a conspiracy
Wow.
about that. Did you guys hear that if you play the Zane and Heath podcast
backwards.
right before the new year,
Oh
the
my-
ball will try? All right, guys, we
You
gotta
play
go.
it backwards,
Bye.
it's renegade,
Bye.
renegade, renegade.
Bye, guys.
Bye.